Hey everybody, this is Mr. Ainsworth, and we're going to get into mastery number 3 on operations on polynomials. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through all the basics here. So do your best, work with me here, check your work, and let's master these concepts here because they're not too hard. We can handle this. All right, here we go. We're going to find h of negative 9 given the function h of x. Okay, instead of f of x, it's h of x. It doesn't matter what the variable is here. Okay, it's a function. All right, and it's equal to negative 2x squared plus 2x. So what we want to do is evaluate the function when x is negative 9. We want to take that and we want to substitute it in the function. All right, so h of negative 9, well, that is negative 2 times negative 9 squared plus 2 times, okay, negative 9. Notice that wherever I see x, I substitute negative 9. Why? Because x is negative 9. That's what it means. Substitute the value in, evaluate it. Easy order of operations. Okay, so here we go. So you always evaluate your exponents first because negative 9 squared means negative 9 times negative 9, which is 81. All right, plus 2 times negative 9, which is negative 18. All right, so what is negative 2 times 81? Well, it's negative 160, 162. Now, if you need a calculator, which some of you guys may, if you're weak on arithmetic here, then use it, okay? So take it out, use it, and you can verify everything I say. All right, negative 2 times, that's my Great Dane talking right there. All right, is negative 162 plus negative 18. Well, that's negative 190, right? So if you want to do that, you go plus negative 18. Come on, Lily, stop talking. Okay, and which is negative 180. All right, so h of negative 9 is equal to negative 180. You're just evaluating the function at a particular value of x. That's all you're doing. Like over here, you're trying to do the same thing, right? You're trying to do the same thing for the linear function. So h of negative 9, well, that's equal to 4 times negative 9 minus 1. Well, what's that? Well, 4 times negative 9 is negative 36 minus 1 more is negative 37. All right, it's easy as long as you know your basic arithmetic. All right, so all you do is sub into function and evaluate. Okay, if I can spell. All right, and evaluate. Basic skills going all the way back to pre-algebra days. All right, now let's move on to exponents. All right, these are the concepts that we went through throughout the year. Exponents, exponent rules. Well, you got 2r times 2r squared times r squared to the second power. So 2r times 2r squared, well, that's 2 times 2 times r squared. Well, what's that? Well, that's, and then times this right here. What's this? This right here, well, power to power, you multiply right there. So you multiply exponents, right? Because r squared squared means r squared times r squared, which is r to the fourth, right? So you multiply these exponents. So you get times r to the fourth. So this right here, this r squared squared is just r to the fourth. All right, so what you do is you multiply like terms, right? 2 times 2, well, that's 4. R times r squared, well, that's r cubed. And then you bring down this r to the fourth here, and you got to multiply, right? Well, here r cubed means you multiply 3 r's, and r to the fourth, you're multiplying 4 r's. So you multiply 7 r's together, right? So it kind of sounds like 4r to the seventh. So you just have to know what you're doing here. R cubed means you're multiplying 3 r's. R to the fourth means you multiply 4 of them, so you're multiplying 7 in all. So that's r to the seventh. It's that simple, my friends, okay? This one here, you get 2x times, well, this is x to the fourth, right? You multiply exponents power to power, as I did in the previous one, right? And then 2x times x to the fourth, well, that's 2 times x to the fifth. Why? Because you're multiplying 5 of them together right there, right? X times x to the fourth is x to the fifth. Now here, once again, you got a power to power, so you multiply your exponents. So here you have m to the power of negative 2 times 2 squared. You got to square everything times n squared. Well, let's reorder this. 2 squared is 4. So this right here, well, that's just 4, right? So let's put a 4 down. And then times n to negative 2 times n squared. Well, this right here, you add exponents right there. Why? Because, well, that's what you do when you multiply like variables, right? So you have 4 times n to the negative 2 plus 2. Well, that's equal to 4 times n to the 0 power. Well, guess what? This right here, that's 1, right? So you have 4 times 1, which is 4. Okay, there you go. There's the thought process. Now here you got to square everything. So 2 squared times n squared. And here you got to square everything. 2 squared times n to the negative 4 power. You got to square everything. Power to power you multiply, as I keep on saying 3 times in a row. Actually, this is the 4th time in a row. And here we go. You got 4 times 4 here times n squared times n to the negative 4 power. That's 16 times n to the 2 plus negative 4. That's 16 times n to the negative 2 power. Okay, and that means that's 16 times, well, that's 1 over n squared. So you get 16 divided by n squared. Okay, why? Because 16 times 1 is, well, that's just 16, guys. When you multiply fractions, you multiply their numerators only. All right, so you're looking for this right here. And you need to know that because your final is multiple choice. And you really have to know what you're doing. Because if you can't do this by hand, the probability of you getting it right is not very good. So you better be good. All right. Now I'm going kind of fast. So if you need to pause and play and rewind, go ahead and do that. It's a video, right? So you pause, play, rewind, and listen to it again, especially when I go too fast, which I'm probably doing for a lot of you guys. So keep that in mind. All right, so now we got to add like terms. We're adding, look at this, okay? Add like terms. So let's do that. So I'm going to reorder it. So reorder, okay, and add like terms. This is a basic Algebra 1 principle. So I see these two as my first set of like terms, okay? So you always start with the highest exponent. So I see 8n squared minus 3n squared. And then I see n, and I see plus 2n. Why? Because we're adding. We don't even need these parentheses. They're not even needed. So you have plus n plus 2n. And then thirdly, we get this minus 3 and a minus 4. So that, whoa, minus 3 minus 4. So I reorder and add like terms. So here we go. Right here, I get 5n squared. If you start off with 8 squares and you take away 3 squares and then you have 5 squares, right? You have the same type of terms, right? Plus, let me see, 1n and 2n. Well, ooh, 3n here. And then, oh, with minus 3 and minus 4 is a minus 7. All right, and you write it in descending order. Okay, there you go. So number 7 you add, and number 8, ooh, look at this. Oh my God, you subtract. Okay, you got to subtract these things. Okay, this is not multiplication just because you see parentheses here. No, you got to subtract and distribute through the minus sign. So we're not going to skip steps here. We're going to step it out like we always do. All right, so here we go. You got a 5k plus 7 minus 8k squared. And then here we go, minus 5k minus k squared. You got to subtract all these terms here. And you got a minus, which is a plus 4. Okay? So now you add like terms. So starting with the squares, I see a minus 8k squared and a minus k squared. So minus 8k squared and a minus k squared. Then I see a 5k and a minus 5k. So plus 5k because it's positive, minus 5k. And then I see plus 7 and a plus 4. So that sounds like plus 7 plus 4. And so these two right here, let me see, a minus. Oh, Jesus. Okay, hang on. Okay, sorry for the interruption there. I'm back. So let's combine like terms. And let me see, negative 8 and a negative 1. Negative 8 minus 1 is negative 9, so a negative 9k squared here. Well, let me see, these cancel out because they're opposites, right? And 5k minus 5k is 0, so plus 0. And then 7 and 4, well, that's obviously 11. So it's negative 9k squared plus 11. And there we go. So you just want to regroup, well, distribute first. distribute first, all right? You want to regroup. That's exactly how I taught it back in the day. Regroup and add like terms, right? One of the most basic principles in elementary math right here, add like terms. All right, there you go, easy. All right, now let's learn how to multiply. Not learn, but review how to multiply, because we already been through this a million times, so let's do it again. So here we go. When you multiply binomials, you can use distributive property or FOIL method, it doesn't matter, but let's go ahead and distribute through twice. So 5n times 6n is 30n squared. 5n times negative 8 is minus 40n. Then distributing through again, 7 times 6n is positive 42n. And then 7 times negative 8 is negative 56, so minus 56. Then you add like terms, so 30n squared. 42 minus 40 is 2, so plus 2n, and then bring down the minus 56. Okay, line up like terms. Line up like terms. All right, there we go. One more time. So 4p times 3p is 12p squared. 4p times a minus 4 is a minus 16p. Negative 3 times 3p is a negative 9p. Notice that lined up like terms right there. And a negative 3 times a negative 4 is a positive 12. Okay, so adding like terms, you get a 12p squared. A negative 16 and a negative 9 is a negative 25, or a minus 25p, and then plus 12 more. Okay, and like I said, you just go ahead and rewind if I'm going too fast and review it a little bit more. Listen to it 2 or 3 times, and in practice, you'll be good at it, just like I am, okay? Now, let's take a binomial times a trinomial. So you have 2 terms here, you got 3 terms here. 2 times 3 is 6, so you got to multiply 6 times. So here we go. So 6m times 3m squared is 18m cubed, right? You have to add their exponents when you multiply in the like variables. M times m squared is m cubed. Okay, multiplying again. 6m times 4m is 24m squared. And the 6m times 6, well, that's 36m. One more time, here we go. Distributing through the minus 7. So negative 7 times 3 is negative 21m squared. Line up like terms. Right here, negative 7 times 4m is a negative 28m. And negative 7 times 6 is a minus 42. All right, and what do you get? Well, you get 18m cubed. All right, 24 minus 21 is 3, so 3m squared. 36 minus 28 is 8, all right, so plus 8m minus 42. Now, when you multiply 2 trinomials, you have to distribute each term 3 times. So since there's 3 terms here, and you have to distribute each 3 times, then 3 times 3 is 9. You got to multiply 9 times. So here we go. 8 times 8r squared times 6r squared is 48r to the 4th. Because r squared times r squared is r to the 4th. And then you distribute again. 8r squared minus times a minus r, or times negative r, is a negative 8r cubed. And then 8r squared times 5, well, that's 40r squared. And then second term, I have to distribute 3 times. So 2r times 6r squared is 12r cubed. So you line up like terms right there. Line up the cubes. And then 2r times a minus r is a negative 2r squared. And then 2r times 5, well, that's just 10r. And then thirdly, you got to distribute through the 4. So I got to go 4 times 6r squared is 24r squared. Notice how I'm lining up like terms. 4 times a minus r, so it's a minus 4r. And then 4 times a 5, well, that's just 20. And notice how I line up like terms. So here we go. You get 48r to the 4th. Right here, 12 minus 8 is 4, so 4r cubed. 40 minus 2 is 38, and 38 minus 24 is 14, so plus 14r squared. 10 minus 4 is 6, so 6r, and then plus 20. And there you go. And, ooh, wait a minute, what happened here? 60, I didn't say this right. So, oh, no, this is incorrect right here. Sorry, guys. Let me fix this. 40 and 24 is 64, and 64 minus 2 is 62. So sorry about that, I just saw a mistake. I took 38 and subtracted 24. I should 38 plus 24 is 62. It'd have been a lot easier adding these. 40 plus 24 is 64, and 64 minus 2 is 62. Okay, that'd be a whole lot easier to do it that way. Sorry about that. Made a little mistake, but I fixed my mistake. Okay, fixed it. And that's what's important, is realizing, double checking. I double checked this and I noticed it right off the bat, so I fixed it. So always check your work, fix your mistakes if you made any like I did here, and you're all good. All right, so there you go. So like I said, this is a video, right? So if you need to listen to it again, feel free to pause, play, rewind, and go through it again. This is Mastery 3 right here. All right, always check your work, practice, and do your best. And I'll see you in my next and final Mastery number 4 to get ready for your final. It's Mr. Ainsworth. I'll see you next time.